to,
Arkansas lawmakers have completed their second week of business in Little Rock with progress on bills to criminalize animal cruelty, return our presidential primary election to its traditional date in May, and enhance penalties for violating a protection order. From Little Rock, this is Speaker of the House Robbie Wills with the weekly radio address from the House of Representatives. Members of Revenue and Tax Committees also will delay action on any proposed tax cuts because lawmakers want to receive revenue reports from state finance officials for January and February. The House Judiciary Committee soon will get its first look at a bill allowing felony charges to be filed for aggravated cruelty against dogs, cats, and horses. Arkansas is one of the few states where animal cruelty is a misdemeanor. The Senate approved Senate Bill 77 on a unanimous vote. Lawmakers defeated a similar measure 2 years ago, but people on both sides of the issue compromised this year. The measure makes the cruelty offense punishable by a maximum penalty of 6 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. It adds 5 years to any conviction of torturing an animal in the presence of a child. Current law imposes up to a year in prison and a $1,000 fine. There are exemptions for standard animal husbandry and agricultural practices. The bill also states that officials with animal rescue groups do not have arrest powers in animal cruelty cases. Representative Pam Adcock of Little Rock is the bill sponsor in the House. We in the House also voted 96-0 to return the state's presidential primary election to its traditional date in May, alongside state and local primary election ballots. 2 years ago, Arkansas lawmakers moved the 2008 presidential primary from May to February, and expectations that the presidential candidates and the accompanying mass of reporters would visit the state, hear the concerns of Arkansas voters, and, not by coincidence, provide an economic boost. Months later, after Arkansas's move, about 24 states also changed their election dates to February or even earlier, all but ending any hope that Arkansas would attract the attention of the candidates. While Arkansas saw a tremendous voter turnout for the February 2008 presidential primaries, the turnout in May for state and local primary elections was down considerably. House Bill 1021 by Representative John Woods of Bentonville goes to the Senate. The House also dealt with House Bill 1038 by Representative Don Creekmore of Hensley and sent that bill to the Senate. The bill stiffens the penalties for violating a protection order. The bill makes such a violation a Class D felony, punishable by up to 6 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000 if the offense occurred within 5 years of a previous conviction for violating a protection order. The House also approved Creekmore's House Bill 1014 to create a task force to study the Alzheimer's disease in Arkansas and how best to deal with those with the disease, their families, and their caregivers. The bill goes to the Senate. Arkansas homeowners older than 65 also could see lower property taxes under House Bill 1035, which was approved in the House. Current law freezes tax rates for homeowners when they turn 65. However, because home values have dropped over the last year or so, some owners in effect have seen increases in their taxes. House Bill 1035 by Representative Jim Nichols of Sherwood directs assessors to lower the tax rates in such cases. The bill goes to the Senate. The House also approved House Bill 1086 by Representative Lindsley Smith of Fayetteville, setting January 29th as Thomas Paine Day in Arkansas, in honor of one of America's heroes in our country's fight for independence from England. Paine authored the pamphlet called Common Sense, calling for independence, an offense punishable by death at the time. The measure doesn't create a holiday, but it does go to the Senate. From the state capitol, this is Speaker of the House Robbie Wills. We'll see you next week.